Good evening, survivors and 3D TPs. A very warm welcome to all you tweakers out there in Twitch land. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's Inters Racing League, and we are at round 4. It's an absolute pleasure to be broadcasting live tonight for another exciting, action-packed race after a week of drama and controversy in the admin lounge. But now you join us where Tier 3 competes at the Circuit Spa-Francorchamps against the backdrop of the beautiful Ardennes forest. It's the Belgian Grand Prix. My name's Tetris. I haven't done this for a while, so be gentle with me. I'm joined here tonight in Sky Race Control by my esteemed co-host. It's a pleasure to have him here. I raced against him in OzF1 last season, and he's a bloody great bloke. Ashton, welcome to Sky Race Control. How are you today, mate?
Oh, I am good. I'm excited to get cracking on with some action here at Spa. I reckon we'll have some great racing tonight. Obviously, the people to look out for are Hado and King Dogger, but to note are some team changes that have happened since the Hungarian Grand Prix. You have a little swap deal between the Racing Bulls and the Mercedes, with Krojag coming from Mercedes to Red Bull and going in the other direction is Raw Dogged, formerly known as A-Dog, but after having the A-Dog tag for longer than I've been alive, in all truthfulness. Like, I'm not even joking about that. He's had it for 14 years and I'm 13. But
well, we call him Souffle Dog as well. Yeah, we know who we know who you're talking about. Everybody knows A-Dog. So yeah, we are here for there is like some driver changes. So we've got Krojag and A-Dog swapping teams. Was there anyone else that you had in mind for that swapped teams? I know we had a bit of controversy during the week with a couple of the Tier 3 drivers. One in particular that there was some discussion about him moving up. He has stayed in Tier 3. We are, of course, talking about Hado, not Play-Doh, but Hado. He is staying in Tier 3, and there's a cracker of a battle going on between him and Kingy for the top spot in Tier 3. I think there's only 1 point between them in the standings.
Speaking of Hado, we are currently on board with him as we're about to go through Bonchmont. There is a yellow flag at the end of the Camel Straight. That is a kick Sauber of either Parzival or Zernan, the two VSC admins racing together for kick Sauber here in Inters. But Hado is about to start his lap, so Tetris, do you want to take us away for this one?
Absolutely, I'd love to. Heading up to turn 1, La Source, round quite nicely, out of La Source, down the hill to the quick sequence of 3, 4 and 5 of Radion up to Eau Rouge, keeps it flat, quite nice. I'm not sure if he's actually or doing a second outlap, but we'll follow him through this one just to see how he goes. Up the Camel Straight, up to Lecombe at 7, 8, 9, takes that a little bit of curb nicely on the right, avoids the curb on the left, avoids the next curb on the right, down towards the turn with no name, turn 10, takes it quite nicely in third, out of the next one, kisses the curb on the left and just avoids the gravel trap on the right, down towards Puon. We've got down, keeps it in 7th, keeps it in within track limits nicely. Is he going to go up into 8th? He does shift up into 8th. Now he gets to the next sequence of corners, which is 13, 14, which is a tight left-hander, to the right-hander and the right-hander of 15, Stavilo 16. And as he exits Stavilo, turn 16 to the Blanchimont, towards the Blanchimont corner, which is just a kink in the left. You don't have to shift down. You just have to ease your way through this corner. Takes a little bit of curb, avoids the curb on the right. And as he gets to the bus stop chicane in the turn 19 and 20, a little bit of curb on the right, a lot of curb. We may have invalidated that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he has. What a shame. That was shaping up to be a really nice lap from Hado. But I'm sure he's either going to go back into the pits to get another fresh set of boots, or he will have enough fuel to do another lap. We'll we'll keep an eye on that. No one's set a lap yet, though. It's 13 minutes in, and we've got Kotze with a 1:45.7.
Parzival crossing the line now. He has beat Kotze's time by 11 tenths of a second. That's 1.1 seconds to the people who are not the best at math. He takes the lead, but now we have a Ferrari of Batman coming up to the lap. But P-Mac was in front of Batman, crossed the line, but he did not set down the most competitive lap time. But I think he is going again. We now have Junkyard Dog coming up to the line, and he will set he'll set the fastest lap with a 1:44.632.
Do you reckon we'll get into the 1:43s tonight?
Oh, we very well could be, given I think Hato looked pretty darn fast on his lap.
Junkyard Dog. Was that Junkyard Dog just for the 1:44.6? No, that's fine. We've already done that. Tyrone with a 1:44.6. There's a lot of drivers in the 1:44.6s. There's actually 3 drivers currently 1:44.6. I'm just following Domwar in the McLaren across the line right now. Oh, he's on an outlap. He's just about to start. Who else we got? Jenneth is he on the lap? Salmon's just sets a 1:44.5.
Grocer.
TP of Haas, 1:44.3. Go, you good thing. Get in there, Broser. Who else? Let's see who else is on. Is Batman on the lap? I think Batman is on the lap.
J-Man's coming through the bus stop chicane. One final corner to go through. Second gear. A little bit of a wobble on the exit. He comes to cross the line and he sets a 1:44.897. That slots him into 6th, but it's still J-Man's teammate, Joseph Coop, one of the co-owners of Inters Racing League, of which you are watching tonight, who stands atop of the timing tables at the moment.
I think, P-Mac is about to start the second lap or finish his next lap. No, I think he's about to start a lap.
P-Mac did improve on his lap. That was his lap, but it was not enough to jump from where he was. He had that, a second out lap just to get that extra heat into tyres, which is so hard to do in this game. But I was on board with Batman, who crossed the line into P6 with a 1:44.797, nearly a 1:44.8. But that first decimal place is a 7. Now we have Mercy, it looks like, and my thing has quickly crashed, but we can easily just hop back in. Sorry for that.
Mercy, I think, is coming through the final couple of corners now at the bus stop. He is about to start. I think he's about to start his lap. Yep, that's he's starting a lap. Oh no,
he had a second out lap, but it was a 1:58.5.
Because he's slow now, but he's not that slow. Definitely not that slow. Who else is on a lap?
Joseph is finishing his. We have the Ferrari of King Dogger coming to the line. I'm trying my best to get down to him. He's coming through the bus stop chicane. It doesn't seem like he was on a competitive lap. It seems like he took a second out lap.
He's just starting his lap. So we'll keep an eye on him as he goes round. There's about obviously 1 minute 40 seconds until he will finish. So let's just keep an eye on him. Is there anyone else on a lap?
Crojag is coming through the third sector. He was traded to the Racing Bulls outfit earlier this week to replace A-Dog, who went to Mercedes, as I mentioned earlier. Hato wasn't the most happy. Well, let's see if Crojag can prove his teammate wrong. Crojag coming through the final corner now. He'll try to use all the track. He is touching the curb on the right there. He'll cross the line without much deviation in line, and he goes last of the competitive times, unfortunately, for Crojag.
Jump on board. Sorry to jump on board with Zandon. He's just set a purple first sector, and he's on his first flying lap. So if you want to jump on board with him in the Kick Sauber, he's just coming through. He's just coming down towards Pouon, towards turn 12, the double left-hander. Let's see how he goes. He's kept it within track limits, which is obviously first rule of racing 101. Comes up to turn 13, 14, and the quick right left, and
Mercy.
down to the...
Sorry, but...
No. Yes, just saw that. Mercy, a 1:43.5.
But Zandon, do not let Mercy distract you from Zandon. He has just set a another purple sector 2 according to the track map. I am looking, he set a 44.445 middle sector. That is, I believe, I'm not 100% sure. Racing League Tools is not doing me any favours. But Zen coming out of the final part of the bus stop chicane, coming up to the line. He goes P2. Mercy set down that time earlier in Zandon's lap, and Zandon goes second. It would have been pole, but Mercy, he was tier 1 last season. Maybe he might have to go to tier 2 with Hato.
Welcome back to tier 2, Mercy. That's a cracking lap you just set there. Who else is on a lap? Is anyone else on an lap?
There is
Broseph is on a warm-up lap. I think he's just on an out lap at the moment.
Hato's coming through the King Dogger, but Hato is coming through to the final sector now, through the flat-out right-hander of, I believe, Stavilo. He now has to come down this fearsome flat-out backstretch all the way to the bus stop chicane. This is not Bonchemont here, but now he's going through it, using overtake through Bonchemont. Something drivers in real life scared to do. They're neck straining, but not here. Hato slamming on the brakes at the 100-meter board for the bus stop chicane. He's trying to get as close to those curves as possible. They are fatal here at Spa with the new patch, but Hato will go second, beating out Zandon. But Mercy is still 4 and a bit tenths above the Racing Bull driver.
Yeah, so looks like he's getting his groove on. He had a few whinges in the chat earlier on saying that he couldn't find any grip. He must have looked under a few cushions and he's found some grip.
King Dogger, it seems, is taking a second warm-up lap. It'll be interesting to see if he can get back to the pits in time, but he's pulling into the pits now, not taking the gamble of trying to complete 3 laps in 6 minutes here at Spa with a 1:43 lap time and the added time of going into the pits. It is probably not possible to go out for a run and get another final run in here, thanks to the nature of this long track. Boss Gamer, the only driver who has not set a time. I was about to jump on board with him, and I am on board with him now actually. He's coming through the bus stop chicane, but he did invalidate, as Tetris has just mentioned.
Yeah, so it's all going on at the moment. We've got everybody set a lap except for Boss. I think he was on a lap before and he did invalidate. We've got a couple of drivers heading out. We've got J-Man heading out on his out lap at the moment.
J-Man's actually on a whole lap. He is up 1 second through the middle sector. The driver currently in 10th place. He was very rapid last game. We'll have to see if he can compete this season. There will be no ERS on this lap for J-Man. He has used it all through Sector 1, Sector 2 and a bit of Sector 3. He was touching that curb through the bus stop chicane. A dangerous game here at Spa, but he'll cross the line and go third, jumping T Summons, and Zandon plays our second 144.0 of the night. And the Haas will settle nicely into third. His teammate Broseph Coop, who was on a provisional pole earlier, is currently in the pits preparing for that extra hot lap. But speaking of that final hot lap and the pits, will J-Man be able to make it back in time and set another time down, or will that 144.049 be his final time of the session?
I think he's got enough time to get back. 4 minutes 30. It is a long track. It's 9 kilometers long, and he needs to obviously get back probably by 3 minute 30 mark to be able to get those boots on, fresh set of boots on, get out, do the out lap. But by that stage, there's going to be 150,000 other cars trying to get round to the finish line to start their hot lap before that flag falls at the end of quali. We've only got 4 minutes and 5 seconds left, so shaping up to be a very stiff fight at the front. Look at apart from Mercy T2, apart from Mercy with a 143.5, we've got the rest of the field from P2 all the way up to P10 within 7 tenths. So that's a pretty close field.
I will note the McLaren driver of Dom 195. The only American on this grid, I believe, given Paul and Hell is not here, but he is coming through Jackie X now. It's probably more commonly known as No Name, but since 2018 it has been called Jackie X in light of the former F1 driver. But Dunbar, pushing the car to its limits through Pouillon, is now coming up to the La Fanges chicane, the fierce right-left, where you really cannot touch the curbs. That he has gone a bit wide into the gravel. That will ruin his lap, and he will not improve on that 144.345. He will have this final sector to charge up on the battery and set another lap. But speaking of McLaren's, Jennifer Lee is coming through Rivage now. This annoying off-camber right-hander. I was about to say left-hander. That just never seems to end. He is now coming through. No Name, Speaker's Corner, Jackie X, whatever you want to call it. Jennifer Lee now on the run down to Pouillon. This is nearly flat. Jennifer Lee, no use of the brake pedal at all, but nearly a complete lift of the throttle for the Hong Kong driver, I believe. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But
no, you are absolutely correct. Continue.
Jennifer Lee coming through to the end of Sector 2 now. We'll have to see what time he can put down. He has not improved. He is 4 seconds down, so it seems like he made a massive mistake coming through that first sector. Maybe at La Source, running into the newly installed gravel trap that's only been added for this game. But I will note PRL Junkyard Dog and is coming down the Camel Straight
from his teammate as well.
Yeah, but Broseph crew.
Great teamwork from the Alpine drivers. Shout out to Buster.
Oh, I will.
Ooh.
Mercy's invalidated. But coming up to Mercy now is Broseph crew coming through that left-right chicane after Pouillon. He now has to ace these two corners if he wants a solid run through Sector 3. Broseph apparently has set a purple Sector 2 according to the track map, but we have seen that a lot tonight. We know how inconsistent that is, and he's just run straight into Mercy.
And the Mercedes has got in his way. That is a terrible turn of events.
And Mercy has 5 seconds. I'm not sure if that's actually Mercy's fault. Mercy seemed pretty off the racing line. I think Broseph was just trying to get that extra bit of toe and pulled out too late. Obviously, if somebody can clip that and post it in Twitch chat so we can just have a little look, that would be amazing. But Mercy, it seems like the best he'll be able to start is P6 at the moment, where Broseph Coop currently lies. But we now have Junkyard Dog coming up to the line. He has invalidated, and he does not have ERS or fuel to carry on with his next lap. But I reckon we jump on board with Haydo. He's heading a massive train. He will not get a tow, but J-Man behind him will. But I will ride on board with Haydo. Tetris, if you want, feel free to take us away for this one.
Alright, so as he rounds turn 1, downhill, massive elevation changes in at this track, up towards the very famous Eau Rouge, takes that very nicely, eases it through on the left, DRS activated along the Camel Straight, down towards turn 7, 8, 9, which is left calm, and takes a little bit of curb on the right, avoids the curb on the left, gets a little wiggly on the right, but he takes that quite nicely, down towards the Brijal of 10 and No Name of 11, takes it really tightly on the inside, squeezes the throttle, and then just eases off the throttle, keeps it out of the gravel on the right, down towards Pouillon, keeps it in 7th, I believe is his favoured, keeps that well within track limits. That's a beautiful sequence of corners as he comes up to the quick right-left. The car can get out of shape very, very easily in this particular section, but he's kept it really nicely aligned, and that's a beautiful corner. It looks like he's 5/10 up. That's going to be a cracker if he can make the next few corners. Obviously, flat stick through 17, 18, all the way towards 19 and 20. Just kisses the curb on the left-hand side, avoids the curb on the right-hand side. Deep breath down into 3rd, keeps it nice. He keeps it within track limits this time, and he is still on track. Is he going to be able to make it? He takes it. Turf 143.1 beats that. Mercy beats Mercy's time by 4 whole tenths.
T
So
Salmons.
maybe, sorry, T Salmons, you were saying?
T Salmons was coming after bus stop chicane. He improved, but not by enough to jump J-Man in 7th. T Salmons will be the fastest of the 44 times here this evening. He will have to settle for 8th. But FNG Hato is your pole sitter. Respectfully, him and Mercy can both bugger off to tier 2. I'm sure that's what we would prefer to see, and I've unfortunately disconnected. I'm sure it's what all the tier 3 drivers would prefer to see. I don't really hold an opinion, given I
turned off one of the primary. Yes. Hello.
Oop, hello.
Yeah, I was just saying Mercy was in tier 1. Turned off one of his primary assists for this season, being the racing line. Has struggled with that for the first few rounds, but it seems like he's not struggling so much anymore. So let's just make sure you take some photos of this and go through the sequence for our esteemed statistician Battlecat. So P1 we've got Hato, Dunno in who is obviously Mercy in P2, Parzival setting a cracking lap in P3, Kotzi in P4, Tyrone P5, Batman in P6, J-Man P7, good lap from him, T Salmons P8, Zandon in P9, Rifle, which I think is Loading Rifle, in 10, Broseph Coop all the way down in 11th after his coming together in Sector 3 with Mercy, Junkyard Dog 12, Jeneth 13, Bang P14, A-Dog P15, King Dogger, Dom War, P-Mac, Crowjag and Boss Gamer rounding out the grid for tier 3. Whew, that was exciting the last couple of minutes there. And looking at the weather, it looks like we've still got no rain. It looks like it is just a little bit cloudy. So right now what they're doing, the drivers are loading up their setups on the grid. Someone's probably pressed start too early, which is always what happens, and the drivers just basically making their last minute preparations. There is no formation lap, so we will not be going around the circuit at low speed to warm up the tyres. We will be going straight into the race. Are you still with me, Ashton?
I am, and the letter P has quite, I'm quite grateful, and he has posted a clip of that Broseph incident into the Twitch chat. I've had a quick look at it. Maybe if there's a early or just a safety car in general, we can have a look. But it just seems like Mercy got back in the middle of the track for a second. Broseph went to the right. But we'll talk about that later, as there's 5 lights illuminated and it's all lights out, and away we go here for the Belgian Grand Prix. It seems like Zen didn't get the best start, but Hato will still lead into turn 1. Kotzi takes second off Parzival, as we have
There's a couple of car rounds.
Oh, the two Hasses. Back at turn 1 there is chaos. 2 Hasses, the Mercedes of Mercy, and there is a VSC.
It is a veritable car park. We've got Crowjag, Mercy, who started off in P2. He's all the way at the back of the field. J-Man, Jeneth, Broseph, and I think Bang was there as well. But we do have a VSC. Does anyone have damage from that? It did look like there was some carbon fiber on the track. So I wouldn't be surprised if once this VSC, we're going green again. So let's go back up with the leaders. Zandon, what's happening up the top?
So
Hato, sorry, go on.
So we have
green.
Hato leading from the Williams of Kotzi. The two boys in blue chasing each other. And Kotzi will be looking to take the lead, but not too early. You have to wait to the camel straight, because otherwise Hato will just scream past. It seems like Hato that has that tad bit more wings, as he's just pulling away through the corners a bit. But Kotzi should be able to gain that back on the straights. These two are probably the closest on the racetrack at the moment. except Rizzy Rifle, who is just staring at the diffuser of T Summons, just trying to get past, and he seems like he could be going to the outside of the bus stop chicane. He is. The Red Bull and the Aston Martin going side by side through the final two corners. Rizzy Rifle, also known as Loading Rifle, just tucks in behind T Summons though.
Yeah.
I will chuck the tyres up on screen. We have a mix of mediums and softs. P-Mac pulls into pits. He did have front wing damage, I saw, but Kotze will now have DRS coming down to Camel Straight. I'll hop off board and we can just look at this pass. Kotze will take the lead from Hato quite easily. Another pretty stock standard DRS pass, but it seems like Hato's actually deploying a bit, staying alongside. They're going side by side. They make contact. F&G Hato's right front medium and Kotze's rear left soft, just touching as they come through the first part of the Lecombe chicane, but Kotze got the move done and takes the lead.
Yeah, so Kotze will have a bit of an advantage for the first few laps.
Oh, yellow flag. Boss Gamer.
I'm sorry?
Boss Gamer had a moment coming out of the Lecombe chicane. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just saw it and I thought we'd cut to it because you never know, it can always be a safety car. But we digress, we continue. Kotze still leading from Hato.
And Rifle and Batman having a bit of a battle back in P6 and P7. It's, it looks like from, Kotze and Hato are still within 2/10 of each other. Parsible's just dropped off a little bit. The Parsible, Tyrone and T Salmons are all within 1 second. So there's going to be a bit of battles going on there. There's obviously going to be a bit of a shake-up of strategies as well, because obviously some of the drivers are on softs. They will pit a little bit earlier. The mediums will want to go a bit deeper into the race for the overcut. But looking at
again.
No position changes at the moment. But let's have a quick look at the position changes. We have
Xanden's falling.
Position changer at the moment.
Xanden's had a moment at the bus stop.
Oh, he has too. Biggest position change at the moment of note is King Dogger from P16 all the way up to P9. So that's massive for Ferrari. Shout out to Battlecat, my TP and my mate, Inter's 2IC. So back to the action. Looking up the top, we've got Kotze. He's gonna VSC Parsible's just made a move, and it's almost three wide into Lecombe. Going down the hill towards turn 10. We have another change of position. Kotze is P3, Parsible up to P2, and Hato back into the lead. So it's all happening here in Belgium.
Okay, so I will just notice Mr. Dale Jr., Creator Series driver. I'm sure that JP has commentated some of his races. Our fabled Tier 1 commentator. He wants a bit more passion. But we will have to jump on board with this lead pack. You could throw a blanket over them. They are so close, and we have a bunch of lag, it seems, unfortunately, my laptop.
Cracking late. Now Tyrone and T Salmons have just joined the fight for P1. So we've got 5 drivers in the top 5, or all 5 drivers at the top of the field. They are all within DRS. So let's see how they go through this next. Oh, and we've also got Kotze making a move into the bus stop chicane very cleanly on the inside of Parsible to retake P2. This is cracking racing here, but he's also just popped out of DRS. So we'll see if he can make that up before he gets to the DRS detection point down the bottom of the hill before we get to Eau Rouge.
Kotze will be pushing as hard as he can, but so is Hato, and Hato has successfully pulled out of DRS. Parsible will probably have to DRS swap a bit with Kotze if he wants to catch back up to the Racing Bull. The 3 of the 4 teams in the top 4 are wrapped in green, but then you have the 2 green, or wrapped in blue, sorry, but you have the 2 green teams of Parsible and T Salmons just looking to take advantage. Parsible got past Kotze. I was on board with Hato. I unfortunately did not catch that, but it seems Boss Gamer, he's having a mare at the moment. He's spun multiple times, got 6 seconds already, but we will stay with this lead pack. Rizzy Rifle right on Junkyard Dog. He's a bit further back from the top 5, And I've disconnected again, yay. But the top 5, you could throw a blanket over them, but Parzival is just still losing ground to Hato. Hato is running away off this race. It would have been interesting to see what happened if the likes of Mercy and Broseph were still up here, but turn 1 incidents definitely happen. So we'll just have to see how this race shapes out.
I'm just on board with Batman at the moment, who there's a nice little battle for P6 happening between Junkyard Dog, who is out of DRS of Salmon's in front of him, 2 seconds behind, but Rizzy Rifle, who is loading rifle, and Batman having a cracking battle a couple of seconds back from the lead pack. Obviously, as you mentioned, Hato has pulled out his lead of 1.6 seconds now, so the 4 cars behind him are kind of battling and basically letting Hato get away further and further down the road.
So Ekotzi will now have DRS on the kick saber of Parzival. This should be this could be an interesting. Ekotzi not getting enough, but speaking of gaining, you had Tyrone on the inside, but Ekotzi's been spun. He has just gone too wide, a bit too much understeer, and he's clipped the rear of Parzival. He's had to flick spin across the track, probably a bit of a dangerous maneuver, but he had time and he's pulled it off. But now Tyrone will be left in third. He'll have DRS on Parzival unless Parzival can pull out. But Tyrone will be pushing as hard as he can through Pouon and the likes to try and stick within that 1 second gap, that crucial 1 second gap for the DRS activation. Right, he will be looking to jump past VSC Parzival, but he is seeming to be able to stick within this, but T Salmon is currently gaining on Tyrone. I'll quickly flick on the tyres because T Salmons and Tyrone are both on the softs. Tyrone has just fallen out, and we have Boss Gamer. He's had another spin, but we will stay up here. Boss Gamer having a nightmare of a race. I'm sure that the Red Bull TP will just be I'm not sure what the word is.
He'll be tearing his hair out. He'll be tearing his hair out.
Thank you.
But then again, it's Sam, because he doesn't have much hair. But he won't be very happy with that. But look, you have bad races. So I'm just on board with Tyrone at the moment as they come down the hill. I feel as though Tyrone's got enough juice in the tank and enough speed to make this move done. DRS activated. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough racetrack to get this move done, or if he's just Boss Gamer's out.
VSC.
Is that
and he's DNF'd. And
and Tyrone just wasn't looking in front of him. He was looking at the track map, and he just nudged not so gently into T Salmons.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure that the Alpha, or not even the Alpha, the Aston Martin of T Salmons will not be looking too kindly upon the Alpine of Tyrone in his rear view mirrors. Boss Gamer has left the session, but obviously he has DNF'd, and he's caused that VSC. But Zandon with a drive-through.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I hate it when that happens. That is a terrible moment. So we are green flagged again, and we are heading in the direction of the first pit stops. So the question I have in my mind, and the question I pose to you, Ashton, and to you, dear listeners, dear viewers, is who is going to blink first? Obviously the soft runners will look to probably try and undercut the mediums, with the mediums trying to go for the overcut. But coming up to like lap 7 or 8, maybe lap 9 for softs around Spa, they don't really last much longer than that, do they? There's a lot of okay, no, that's Sandon going into the pits to serve his drive-through, which as we mentioned before is extremely unfortunate. But back to the action up the top. What do we got?
Rifle.
Hato's pulled out a 3 second, almost a 3 second gap. T Salmons is now 1.5 seconds, almost 1.7 seconds behind Parzival. Loading Rifles 1.6 seconds. We've got Tyrone and Rifle, Tyrone and Junkyard Dog getting very close together, ganging up on the Red Bull of Rifle.
So, Mercy with 3 seconds. Both Mercedes drivers have breached track limits 3 times, giving them 3 seconds of penalties. But I was on board with this earlier. Rifle, he's on the fringe of DRS of T Salmons. Rifle did get past Tyrone coming into the bus stop chicane on the previous lap, but he was successfully able to defend his position coming down the Camel Straight as T Salmons has spun. Just as
Salmons is round.
Just as my remote play has unfortunately disconnected again, I really do need to invest in a capture card. But T Salmons coming out of the Lafondre chicane has just sent it into the wall as we have, and he's just still there. He's trying to get back on track, and that is a race ruiner for T Salmons. If I'm not wrong, that may very well be the second time he's just plummeted down the order. As we have Tyrone blinking first, he comes into the pits, and I do not believe he has any damage, so he is trying to undercut the likes of Rifle, Parzival, and Hado. I'm not sure he'll be able to get the top 2, but he stands a chance of being able to jump Rifle, so we'll have to see how this pit stop goes. He goes onto the hard to drive the remaining 14 laps of the 7,004 metre circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, nestled in the Ardennes forest. Tyrone will be doing everything he can to just have the best outlap he can, because Brizzy Rifle, he'll see Tyrone disappear. He will know he's changed tyres. Zen and T Salmons both in the pits. They have changed onto the medium and hard tyre respectively. But Bangladesh getting past Jennifer Lee, I just saw that coming into the Lacombe chicane. I saw it on the leaderboard. I cut to them, and it just seems like Bangladesh got up the inside. He was able to maintain more speed, and Jennifer Lee was just caught off the racing line. But as things stand, I believe Hado will still be your provisional leader by the time he gets out, just depending on the pace and consistency. Tyrone in the Alpine, which is supposedly the fastest car on this game, because like, you gotta love EA, they make equal cars unequal, but Tyrone will be looking to just absolutely push, brute force his way into the podium positions via the undercut strategy. Has gone from softs to hards, and who knows, will Rifle follow him in. Ekotzi with 3 seconds, he's fallen down a bit. Zen with 3 seconds.
We've got some pitters.
Junkyard Dog.
Pit.
Donwar's pitting.
We've got Donwar's pitting.
Raw Dog's pitting.
Hayo and Parzival, so it stands to reason they will stay out. So we've also got A-Dog and Bang pitting. And I do agree with you, Buster. This is a cracking race so far. Shout out to you, my friend. It does feel a bit early, Aussie. It does feel a bit early, but I think when you're in a race like this where it's so close, you've got to take some chances. And he has pitted onto the hards. Where's he come out? He's come out in some clear air between Jenneth in the McLaren, and he's got Junkyard behind him. So he's definitely, I don't think he's undercut Junkyard because he was in front of him, but he's definitely kept that lead in front of Junkyard Dog. And wait and see, what lap do you reckon Hado and Parzival and Batman are going to do it? You reckon it'll be like lap 10 or 11? Will they push it to lap 12?
I reckon if I'm on the mediums right now, I'm trying to just go as long as you can, trying to preserve that medium, that yellow banded compound, just trying to extend it, maybe all the way even to lap like 15 if you can, and just hop onto those softs for that final burst of speed in the final stint. Just try to brute force your way through the field back into the lead. As you know, or as we know, there is very many overtaking opportunities here at Spa, and if I'm a driver, I'm just trying to exploit those opportunities. I'm trying to just, as I said, brute force my way into the lead. Just take them out, easy pickings, and just pick my way up to a top 5, maybe even podium, maybe even top 2, maybe even first.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. We're not even halfway through the race. We've still got 12 laps, 12 and a half laps to go. I'm just on board at the moment with Mercy, who is
Yes.
sitting comfortably behind Broseph. Let's see if he makes the move into like along Camel Straight. We'll see if he's got enough in the tank to do that. T. Salmons with a 3-second time penalty. T. Salmon's having an absolute shocker at the moment. I feel really bad for him. He qualified well, made some really nice moves at the beginning of the race. He just had a awful luck. But as these tyres degrade, we're going to see little mistakes creeping in as they push the absolute limits through this very, very demanding track. And it's interesting to see we've still got Loading Rifle, Fotsy and Jeneth out on softs. Maybe they're pushing it to a one. Obviously, they're pushing it to a one stop, but maybe they're going for the soft medium.
Oh no, Raw Dogs
Other
had a collision with
opted
Banker
for the soft.
I'm sorry to butt in, but
A-Dog's off.
I was watching this A-Dog and Bangladesh battle. There was some great racing. They were pushing each other to their limits, but I think A-Dog's just tried to cut across Bangladesh and take the racing room or the racing line, and there just wasn't enough room. And he's missing both his end plates now. Is the Perth boy, born in 92, as A-Dog 92 suggests, and he will have to pull into the pits to get that change on a circuit where downforce is so crucial. You just can't afford to drive around with no front wing. But speaking of the pit lane, Rizzy Rifle and Ekotzi are in, and so is Jennifer Lee. The softs have reached the end of their lifespan, and these drivers are getting off of them. And Rizzy Rifle's going mediums, Ekotzi's going mediums. What will Jennifer Lee go? Jennifer Lee will go mediums. So it seems like this whole grid is on mediums. Kojak still needs to pit along with the top 5. Technically Mercy doesn't need to pit, I believe, but I do not think that those mediums are going 21 laps, and Raw Dog may have I don't think he's pit and quit, but there was yellow flags as he pulled into the pit lane. You can never be sure, but
his undercut was going to work out, and Rifle is actually okay, back again.
Let me quickly.
Do you want me to keep talking, or are you?
You can keep talking. You can. I just quickly disconnected.
Sorry. Cool. So yeah, Rifle's come out just behind Tyrone on medium, so he will have a definitely a speed advantage once those mediums come up to temperature in the next lap or lap and a half. Hado, Parzival, Batman, Mercy and Coops are all still on the first stint. So I feel as though Tyrone has really pulled something out of the bag here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's do some quick calculations. We've got 5, 10. He's only 10 seconds behind P3, and 17 seconds behind P2. So I feel as though he's going to definitely elevate himself into P2 once those front 5 drivers actually make their pit stops.
Maybe that is why the Alpine of Tyrone chose to fit that white banded hard tyres, because they just age so well as the race goes on.
Broseph going for a move on Dunno. Sorry. Broseph went for a lovely move on the Camel Straight. I just caught it on... Yep, there we go. Obviously, I wouldn't say rivals, but they did come together in qualifying. I don't think it definitely wasn't intentional, but they're having a cracker of a battle out on track at the moment. Got some movement down the back of the field. We've got Bang overtaking Crowjag into P12, but not a lot else happening until the top 5 make their pit stops, which logic would say it's going to be either this lap or the next lap. So maybe we keep an eye on top 5 if nothing else happens. Who's in the pits? Oh, that's A-Dog.
Yeah. I have a...
Maybe we keep an eye on Hato to see if he pulls the pin.
He
No,
does
he's going
not.
around for another spin.
Will the VSC drivers
Parzival?
of Parzival and Batman pull into the pits? The kick Sauber of Parzival has gone to the right of that bollard and pulled the pin to change onto what must be the soft compound tyres, but his fellow VSC admin of Broseph Group, or not Broseph Group, Batman, has stayed out. Speaking of Broseph Group, he goes to the right of the bollard as well. He will pull into the pits, get some fresh rubber on that Haas car, and Rizzy Rifle in the Red Bull has set the fastest lap. Two very different races for the Red Bull drivers here. One fighting for the win, because at this stage it is a 18.5 second pit stop. Rifle very well could just jump and take the lead. I reckon it will be close between Rifle and Hato as they come out of the pits. But the longer Hato stays out, the more likely it is that Rifle will undercut him. Rifle needs to gain 5 seconds, and I reckon if Hato does not pull the pin soon, Rifle's tyres, which are on under 10%, they are in the best form they'll ever be in, will just undercut Hato, as Rizzy Rifle has gained 5/10 through 2 corners.
Absolutely. So that's a cracking strategy by Rifle, and Tyrone, even though I do greatly admire his strategy of going for the soft early pit stop and going to hards, I have a feeling he's going to struggle in 9 laps at the end of the race. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see another...
Hato's in pits.
Seen a safety car. We've seen a couple of virtual safety cars. And yes, as you said, Hato has pulled the pin. Let's see how that transpires. We'll see if... and also,
Batman follows
has
him,
pulled the pin as
but
well.
Mercy stays out.
We've got lots of pin pulling at the moment. I don't think that's going to... Mercy's going to go past...
No, he won't.
Going to go past...
Hato's going to come out in the lead. Unless you're talking about Batman, Hato...
Oh, sorry. I was talking about Batman, sorry.
Apologies, but Hato has retained the lead on those fresh, soft compound tyres. Rizzy Rifle will be doing his hardest to use his warmed up mediums. The C3 compound here at Spa to catch up to Hato on those softer red banded C4s as the two racing bulls come into the pits at the same lap. Projag also getting off those mediums.
Yeah, lucky they didn't double stack, but he was quite a distance behind Hato, so I don't think there was much chance of that happening. But I think for the next couple of laps, you're going to see Hato pull out a lead, not just to Mercy, but also to Rifle. But I think the longevity of the mediums, the durability of the mediums is going to come into play towards the end of the race in about 6 to 7 laps. So let's keep an eye on those deltas. Rifle is definitely right on the gearbox of Mercy at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if he definitely goes for a move. Yeah, he's already gone for a move. He's made it stick round the outside, and he's up into P2. He wants to get up the road and closer to Hato so that he can challenge for that win. Definitely had a cracking drive tonight.
And Mercy pulls the pin after getting passed by Rifle. He will pull into the elevator pit lane here at Spa. It's just probably a couple meters above the track. Parzival on those C4 tyres sets a fastest lap with, I believe, a 1:45. And I've disconnected.
I think you might be right. So a bit of a battle between Dogger and Junkyard. The two dogs, Junkyard Dog and King Dogger. How many dogs does it take to overtake? And he goes around the inside. I feel as though he's going to make that move stick. Yeah, he's made it stick just as they get to turn 7 at Les Combes. It's a beautiful move by King Dogger. Absolutely textbook overtake.
I will note Parzival on those soft compound tyres are looking at the 5 lap older and 2 compound hard tyres on the Alpine ahead of him of Tyrone. Parzival will be licking his lips at the thought of a DRS overtake down the Camel Straight, just being able to pull away from the black, blue and pink of the Alpine. But Parzival obviously needs to pull off the move first, and it just depends. Has Tyrone been saving his battery? Parzival definitely has more. He's deploying a bit to get close to Tyrone though, and he's looking for a move around the outside of Blanchimont, shades of Max Verstappen from the kick Sauber, and Parzival has got the move done around the outside of the fierce left-handed king of Blanchimont. He will move up into third, and he'll be left to chase down Rizzy Rifle, who is 5 seconds ahead of him. But it seems like we have had the Aston Martin of... oh no, Zandon is in the wall. And he's sitting there for a while. VSC!
He almost reverses straight into J-Man. That was a very, very close shave there. And yes, the virtual safety car has been deployed. He must have just lost it on that exit of the second corner of turn 16 of Stabilo. It's a bit of a dicey one when you're on 7-lap-old halves. But he needs to, I'd say he needs to dive into the pits and get a little bit of a front nose cone replaced on his kick Sauber. It's going to bite into the budget. Parzival. But yes, nice move by Parzival, like a few Buffalo girls going around the outside. That was a beautiful move, but he definitely had the tyre advantage there and the grip required to make that move stick and to make it stick safely. The field is quite broken up at the moment, isn't it, Ashton?
It is.
We've got obviously Hato out the front on 2-lap-old softs. We've got green flag again and DRS enabled. We've got Rizzy Rifle trying to maintain a healthy distance but not let Hato pull out too far. We've got Parzival 5 seconds adrift of him with Tyrone still clinging on. He's clinging on those hards. I reckon he might be able to make it work for another lap or two. And then Dogger behind Tyrone clinging on to him. So then we've got, 5 seconds to Domwar after Junkyard Dog. Got Kotze and Domwar having a cracking battle for 7th. But yeah, there's a definite field spread as you look at the track map down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, dear readers, dear watchers, viewers, whatever you are. But I feel as though with 6 laps to go, in about 3 laps you might see that gap between, the delta between Hato and Rifle come down a little bit. You expect, we know how quick Hato is on his day. We know that the controversy surrounding Hato and the calls for him to be moved up. The call was made not to move him up, and at the moment he is pulling out a gap, but he's on fresh softs. I mean, I think just about any driver would be able to pull out a gap if they were on a softer compound and younger tyres. Let's see how we go in about 3 or 4 laps. Got any other battles going up and down the field, Ashton?
I was briefly looking at the battle for the final podium place. Tyrone, King Dogger and Parzival. 3 different compounds, 3 different cars, and all battling for the 3rd and final position on the podium. They're coming through to the final sector now. Both of them will be battling, or all of them will be battling to fighting to stay within DRS. But it seems like King Dogger made a mistake coming through that 2nd sector, and he has fallen out of DRS of the Alpine of Tyrone, who is still in DRS of the kick Sauber of Parzival. And it seems like King Dogger is just losing more and more time. Kojag with 3 seconds, trailing down in 16th. He might be able to get his first points of the season if he can jump Banglabai on that softer but 2 lap older compound of tyres. But I will jump on board with Tyrone. He is about to come down the Camel Straight, and I've just disconnected. No. Wrong time, please.
No. Connecting and focusing on that. I'm going to have a quick look at penalties.
We are back.
Quite a few track penalties spread across the field. We've got 3 seconds, we've got 6 seconds, we've got somebody down the bottom, bang, with 9 seconds. Oh, we've got a little bit of action in the middle sector. In the midfield, coming down towards Lake Com. I think there were a few changes, but I think it was Grosset. No, it was Domwar and Mercy having a bit of a battle. But yeah, looking back up the field very, very quickly, Tyrone has managed to stay with Parzival, and that's going to bode really well for him as Parzival's tyres get older and they become quite equal on grip. The mediums and the hards around here can be quite equal when it comes to the lap times and the grip entering and exiting corners. Oh, we've got Mercy on the back of Domwar again. They're having a great little battle for P9. Obviously still in the points at that part of the grid.
Mercy is looking at the McLaren's diffuser. Domwar has dropped out of Batman's DRS, so Mercy will have easy pickings coming down the Camel Straight, unless he's just a little bit impatient and gets the move done early. But Mercy has or will stay behind. He will not get the move done into turn 1, and he'll just pick up the DRS coming down the Camel Straight. The boy from country New South Wales, looking to jump the guy from America, racing in an Australian leg. He's faring well for himself over here, but Mercy will just be looking to jump a bit further. Tyrone has got Parzival and Junkyard Dog and King Dogger had a bit of a scrap. I quickly cut to that, but in the meantime, Dunno had the easy DRS pass on Domwar. He will have to pull out a 3-second gap though if he wants to keep his position, as Zandon has got another 3-second penalty. His is up to 6 seconds, and now it has settled down a little bit with most of the field coming through this second sector. There is the Racing Bull of Crojag looking to overtake Bangalore, but he is just too far back, not getting enough Bangalore. It seems deploying ERS. Crojag not able to get that move completed, but Hado is coming through the bus stop chicane now. He will cross the line, and when he does that, there will only be 3 laps to go. Lap 20, lap 21 and lap 22. It seems that Zenon got the DRS pass done on PMAC 1977, and Zenon will now look to peel away. He has already got a 1 second gap on the Williams driver. The 3 lap old mediums versus 17 lap old mediums is not a battle that is going down too well for the Williams driver. But I've just quickly cut in some very low quality though to this battle between Mercy, Kotze and Batman. They are about to come down the Camel Straight. Domwar will have DRS and he'll just be watching from behind. Excuse the low quality, I'm sure you can make out what's happening. Kotze in 8th will open the DRS, but Mercy behind him will be looking to get past not King Dogger, Batman as well, as they go 3 wide down the Camel Straight. Mercy looking to go up the inside of Kotze, and he gets the move done. Mercy getting 2 positions in 1 straight, but Batman has kept a clean all race. He could reap the benefits of staying penalty clean. Speaking of penalty clean and VSC Batman, behind VSC Batman, Domwar has just picked up 3 seconds of penalties. I'll check the penalties again. That is his second set of 3 penalties as Kotze is spun. Coming out of No Name, Kotze has spun. He'll have to be careful rejoining the track. He has successfully rejoined. T-Summons will be coming up, but Kotze is back up to speed.
I was waiting to take a breath. yes, we did see a lot of action in that little sequence, and it was unfortunate for Kotze. He was running quite a good race. I think he was in P8. Yeah,
I
but
believe.
that was
Yeah.
unfortunate. It definitely happens at this track and at that corner as well. I've seen many a spin. But now Kotze has got Salmon's right on up his clackers. Salmon's able to go around the outside because he has a superior grip, and he also has his front wing intact, which Kotze does clearly not have intact. He will be diving into the pits. No, he doesn't dive into the pits because we've only got one lap left. So he wants to crack on because he'll lose too many positions if he does that. Back up the field, nobody is in DRS of anybody. So apart from Batman and Batman and Dunno, oh Mercy, no line Mercy. So we'll see if Batman can actually make the move. I mean, I think Batman's going to jump him anyway because Mercy's got like 100 seconds of penalties. So I feel as though that is Batman in P8. Yeah, so we don't have anyone actually battling at the moment. Looking at all the deltas, apart from Kotze and Salmon, but I don't think Kotze's got any sort of grip, having absolutely no front wing end plates. Yeah, he's not able to make that corner stick very well at all. Oh, and he actually has a little taste of the gravel on the exit of turn 11. If he gets around to Pouon, this is going to be a real challenge for him to take that at full speed. But we've got Parzival back up in P4. He's still clinging on to DRS from Tyrone.
Sorry to interrupt, but Bangalore has just pulled off a move down the inside of Pouon, but Bangalore does have those 12 seconds of penalties lingering over his head. J-Man will jump him back up into 14th, and I believe Krojag will jump him into 15th. Krojag should get his first points of the season if everything goes to plan. But we are now on the final lap. FNG Hato will lead us home. He is coming through Lacombe on those lawn softs. Rizzy Rifle and Tyrone seem to be the people who will round out your podium today. Tyrone had a mega strategy with the undercut, boxing from the softs onto the white banded C2 compound hards, and he has undercut, I believe, Parzival and Batman. It might have been in front of him, I can't exactly remember, but we have a yellow flag as Hato. That is not Hato, that is Krojak. All he needs to do is stay within 9 seconds of Banglabai, but he's only 7 seconds behind coming onto the final lap. Speaking of the final lap, Hato is coming into the final sector as Banglabai picks up another 3-second time penalty. He is now on 15 seconds. That's just made Krojak's life 10 times easier if he wants to get his first points of the season in his first race for the Racing Bull outfit. But speaking of Racing Bulls, FNG Hato, he's been absolutely dominant today. I can only imagine the cries of Tier 2 will get louder, but FNG Hato will cross the line. He's leaving the steering wheel, and FNG Hato will be a winner today. The sister team of Racing Bulls, Rizzy Rifle in the Red Bull, will cross the line to take second, and now Tyrone coming out of the bus stop chicane will end up in third. A good showing for the Alpine outfit as Parzival crosses the line in fourth. But as I mentioned, a good showing for the Alpine outfit. A 3-5, I believe it's Buster who's the Alpine TP, if I'm not mistaken. He watches every stream, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely ecstatic watching this. Zen gets another 3 seconds penalties.
Get in there, Buster.
But we now have T Salmon's crossing the line into 12, Kotze in 13th. This is where the penalties will really start to come into effect. Kotze will stay 13th, Banglabai definitely will not stay 14th. I believe he will fall all the way down to 16th. J-Man will cross the line. He'll easily jump into P14. But Krojak, his first race in the Racing Bulls, he will get his first point of the season. 15th, one solidarity point for the Racing Bulls driver Zen will cross the line in 17th. A race to forget for the Kicksauber driver. PMAC now coming through Blanchimont. He'll finish in 18th, and Raw Dog will finish in 19th unless PMAC picks up a 3-second penalty and Raw Dog gains a little. But I don't see that happening. PMAC is taking it very carefully through here in first gear. Banglabai has left the session, but he has crossed the line, so that is okay. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect him, but he is out of the points anyways. Raw Dogs will cross the line. He'll be your final driver to cross the line today, and that will be your race.
That is indeed the race. I'm just going to put a message in the Tier 3 chat for the drivers to join for their post-race interviews. But that was an absolutely cracking race. No safety cars. 3 virtual safety cars, but no full course safety cars, which quite uncommon for Spa, I might say. All right. Please join comms, you goddamn legends. Yeah, so if you want to make sure you get those screenshots on your stream, we'll take you through the final standings. Hado P1, Rifle P2, Tyrone P3, Parzival P4, Junkyard Dog P5, Dogger P6, Batman P7, Mercy P8, Coops, Joseph Coops, Has TP and Interzona P9, Domwar in 10, Jeneth P11, Salmons P12, Kotzi P13, J-Man, the J-Man in P14, Crowjag P15, Bang P16, P17, Zamden, PMAC, Raw Dog, and Boss Gamer DNFing PMAC P18 and Raw Dog, obviously. A-Dog, our mate. Souffle Dog in P19. Yeah, so there you go, folks. That is the end of the Tier 3 race. What an exciting race we had tonight, with a lot of action, a few little spins, but as I said, no safety car. So we're going to start with P3. I believe P3 was Tyrone. So do you want to take it away, Ashton, the post-race interviews?
Tyrone, congratulations on P3. You had a mega undercut coming from the softs to the hards. Do you want to talk us through that strategy decision?
Yeah, it worked fucking brilliantly for us, so which was nice. Sorry, swear.
Whoa. Calm down. I know you're excited, but calm down.
Heart rate's up. First podium feels good, but yeah, the strategy was brilliant. We talked about it before the race between the whole team, and it was a few. I got a few lucky moments with a couple of guys ahead of me making a few mistakes, which helped out. But yeah, the strategy was a big saver, and it worked well for both of us. Getting P3 and P5 for the team's huge.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, a big outing for the Alpine outfit today. That will definitely help you in the constructors, and your P3 will definitely help you in the drivers. I will quickly check that, but Tetris, do you quickly have any questions to ask Tyrone?
Congratulations, mate. We were actually watching your undercut on stream. There was a few comments in the chat saying, "Ooh, that's a little bit early to be pitting," but I was pretty confident in that strategy. And then when you came out, when Tyrone came out on mediums, his pace was quite strong. He was able to get past you. How did you feel on those first few laps when you had that free air? What was your mindset there?
Mindset was just consistent, no mistakes, just get on with my own race. I knew there was going to be guys around me on quicker tyres, and my whole idea was battle was not with them now, it will come back to me late, which it did in the end, with, I can't remember who it was, softs in front of me, but came back late and it worked beautifully. And yeah, the whole time I was just thinking, just keep these tyres under me, don't push them too hard, no mistakes, and managed to do that and it worked beautifully for us.
Well, congratulations, Tyrone, again. A fantastic P3. You must be very happy with that.
Thanks, mate.
How do you feel about next week's race? Where are we next week? I don't even know. I run this league and I don't even know. I I think it is.
It's Suzuka.
Oh, it's Japan. Oh, I can't wait to do the race post for that one. How do you feel about that one next week?
Yeah, look, I think it'll be one of my stronger tracks. I need to get a few laps under me, but it's been one of my better tracks in previous games. So, you know, a new handling model is always going to throw a spanner in the works with anyone, but I hope that I'll be able to be just consistent. That's what I aim to be every race. And after I had some few mistakes in the last couple of races. It's nice to finally get this one done. And yeah, I think we should have a good chance again next week, both of us, for our team.
Congratulations, mate. Look, double top 5 for Alpine. Be really happy about that. So we look forward to seeing your race, and obviously both you and Junkyard Dog will probably make a little bit of headway in the standings as well. So congratulations again.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Cool, mate. We're going to head on to who is our P2. Our P2 is Loading Rifle, who is controversially still a reserve. So congratulations, Rifle, on your P2. What a race. Just talk us through your race tonight, mate.
Rifle, I believe you are muted.
Yeah, you may need to unmute your microphone there.
Oopsie daisy.
There we go. So yeah, talk us through your race, mate. Congratulations. Welcome to Sky Race Control, and yeah, I hope you're not too wet from all the champagne.
No, not too wet. Never been too wet.
That's true.
But yeah, off the start, I knew I had pace. Quali was really close. I think I did the 24 something. Don't really remember. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, started P10. Got held up a bit in the first stint. But like after the pit stops and got past the Alpine, it was pretty much clear air. Got to around lap 18. People were like 6 seconds back. I just cruised to the end. I was on 2 warnings, so just management really.
Of course. Look, this will be, I think technically this will be your third race that you have. Is this your third race that you raced?
This is my second.
I don't know.
I did Silverstone.
This is your second. Okay. So you've got one more race to go before you can be signed to a full-time seat. That is very exciting. I remember when I was reserve way back in many seasons ago, and that is something to look forward to. You're obviously a very quick driver. You're very good at the game. How do you feel about being the potential of being signed full time in a couple of races or in a race or so?
Well, I have some secrets I can't tell you about what I will do. It's a matter of time until I get my third reserve race, and I'll be on the grid a lot more often.
Just a matter of time. Ashton, do you have any questions for our P2?
Not really. I think you pretty much covered it all, but I've just got one question. Your strategy seemed to work pretty well. Do you want to quickly talk us through that?
Yeah, I knew I had pace in qualifying, but being so far back, P10, I just decided that starting on the softs would be better. Try clear through people in front of me, which it did work. Then after the pit stops, Hader was just too fast on the softs. I gained enough in the undercut. So he was just flying, rapid guy.
Yeah, so next week, Suzuka. How do you feel about that? If you do race.
A good track on all the F1 games, so pretty confident. But won't do too much practice because it's not guaranteed that I'll be on the grid. But yeah, if I can get on the grid, it'll be great because then I could be signed.
Okay, thank you for that, Rifle. Good luck in your reserve endeavours for the next time you race, and good luck if and when you do get that full-time seat. But now we will cut to our race winner, Hato. How was your race?
Yeah, it was a bit good, very close at the start, with a Kotze getting a flying start on those softs, so I was scared he would run away, but luckily he didn't. So that was good, and then bloody Parcel had 0 wings on or something. He was his straight line was so quick, man. But yeah, it was a really good race.
You did go fairly long on that medium compound of tyres. How did you go about managing that?
Well, last game, I knew you could do 16, 17 laps on those mediums before they fully fell off. So I tried doing that again this race. It worked. I think I pit on about 50% wear, and yeah, it worked. The overcut worked. So that's all that matters, and I'm happy.
I'm sure that the cries of Tier 2 will only grow louder, but currently you're not in Tier 2. The admin team have decided that
Yeah.
you will not be in Tier 2, so this will only help but extend your lead towards the top of the standings. How do you feel about that? Because King Dogger, you had a 1 point lead over him coming into Spa, but you definitely got the upper hand on him here today.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to see King Dogger down that low today. Looking like considering his past races, he's been so quick. Always sticking with me, and obviously having that close battle in the overall. So it was unfortunate, but yeah, I think it will be a good battle from here on out. Now, hopefully he doesn't have that unlucky of a race for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so we have Suzuka, the land of the rising sun next week. How do you feel about that?
Well, a bit nervous. New game. I've done a couple laps. When the game first came out, you could just swallow those curbs, and I don't know how it handles now. But yeah, we'll see. I'm nervous, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Tetris, do you have any more questions? Because that is all I have for our race
Look,
winner.
I just want to say congratulations, Hato. Yeah, I just want to say congratulations for an absolutely stellar drive tonight. It was a pleasure to watch. We didn't actually have the camera on you very much because there was a lot happening behind you in the field. But yeah, you just seemed to, once you pulled out from that battle pack, there was a battle pack of about 5 cars right at the start. And once they started fighting, that really led to your advantage. You didn't pull out a huge gap. You only pulled out like, 4 or 5 seconds, but it definitely held to your advantage. What were your thoughts when that was happening?
Um, yeah, obviously that battle pack really started on lap 3 when Parsville nearly got past me to go into the lead, and then I think just his low wings is what didn't help that much because I was pulling through the corners more. Even though I had low wings, I reckon I had higher than most of the grid. But yeah, it really helped getting with that clean air and not having to worry about anyone behind me. But yeah, it was pretty.
It allowed you just to focus on your race and focus on corners and corner entry and exits, and without that pressure behind you.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause, like, I had on lap 1 with the Kotzi behind me, I got a warning on that lap, and that was it. So I had that stress behind me, but yeah, just had that focus after I got out.
Cool, mate. Well, look, I think Ashton's asked all the questions. The only other question I have is, obviously there was a vote this week for whether we should move you up or whether we should keep you in Tier 3. The decision in the admin room was to keep you in Tier 3, and there's been a lot of, I would say, feedback in the the chats, like the Twitch chats and also the Tier 3 chats. What do you say to your knockers that say you should go up to Tier 2?
I'm just not gonna
And be
worry about it.
nice.
Yeah, I'll be as I can. But yeah, they can think what they want. The admins and owners will know best. So look, if at the end of the season I probably will get moved up anyway. But yeah, if they just want to keep saying, "Oh, move them up already," they can do it. I won't worry about it.
you just got to focus on your season. I think that's the main
Yeah.
thing, and that's what your mindset's got to be. I've we've all not we've all there's certain drivers that have been in the situation where there's been certain calls made, and you can't really take notice of the noise. You've got to focus on your season, focus on your races, focus on your team, and just do the best you can. And it will be what it will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, again, congratulations, mate. It was a great race to watch. There was a lot of good moves happening, and we look forward to seeing your season progress, and also look forward to Suzuka
Yeah,
next
well,
week.
thank you for the commentary. It was really good. Thank you.
Our pleasure, mate. Our pleasure. We live to serve. All right, let's wrap it up for the night. Ashton, great race to kick off the season. We've got kick off the weekend. We've got Tier 2 tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. Looks like there might be a little bit of weather, so that's going to be a spicy race for Saturday afternoon for Tier 2. We've also got the League Unity race at 7 p.m. tomorrow night between PRL, Pacific Racing League, SRL, the Slipstream Racing League, and Inters. So five drivers, five or six drivers for each
6.
league, and that's going to be at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. So watch out for that. That's going to be a really spicy race as well. We also got Tier 1 on Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. Inters Racing League Tier 1, and that will wrap up our round 4. So thanks very much for streaming tonight, Ashton. Thanks for joining me as well.
No problemo. That will wrap out our stream, I believe. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to the drivers for driving pretend race cars for our entertainment. Thank you
Thanks
to
for the Twitches for watching. Thanks for the viewers for jumping on and supporting us.
thank you to all the people behind the scenes who organised this. We will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. for some Tier 2 action here at Spa, the very same track, but not the same drivers. You will have a new batch of 20 drivers to drive pretend F1 cars for your entertainment. So remember to tune in tomorrow and watch. So again, thank you to you for watching. Thank you to the drivers. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes, team principals, admins, owners, commentators, all that jazz. Have a good night. Enjoy practice 1, the real practice 1, which is happening in 6 minutes. And yeah.